Hello and welcome to Krafty Max Originals 6th Bead Along. Ready to get started? Okay, so what we're going to do is once we've threaded our needle, which I've given you enough thread for both projects, so if you cut it in at least half, you should be fine, is you're going to wind what's called the dead tail around your pinky a couple times. Don't cut off your circulation. Okay, and that's just to hold it on as a stopper. All you're going to do is keep it on until we tie a knot. Then you're going to pick up 10 of the super duos. Now there's really no ups or downs on these. The only thing that you really have to worry about is to make sure that they both ends have holes, because there are some, it's called culling, when you take them out and you clean out what's there. So just make sure that they have the second hole on them. Now once you're done, you're going to go back around and up the back end of your beads. So you'll go from the dead tail back up through them, okay, and then you're going to pull them tight, and what you did was just make a circle. Now once you pull them tight, this is one of the few stitches that I'll let you make a knot in. So you go right over left and then left over right, and the reason you do them backwards is so that they lock together. Even a slip knot will not slip if you do them backwards. Right over left, left over right. Okay, so that's our first one. We have our flower. Now you're going to pick up one of the glass round pearls, and if you have to, you can count around, but if you just take your thread and go straight across, you see this is where my knot is, go straight across. Now this is the important part. You're going to go back in to this bead on the bottom where you've already been through, and then back out through the top, going the opposite direction. And what this does is it puts your thread in the right direction to start doing your flower. So there's my first one, and if you see, my thread is now coming out of the top bead, or the top hole in that bead. You're going to add a seed bead through the top hole all the way around. So just go all the way around, putting your seed beads in. Now if you do notice, I do keep what's called the dead tail wrapped around my pinky. That's just more for support. You don't have to do that. It just kind of helps me hold on to the pieces when they're little like this. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around, just adding, and every couple you add, go ahead and pull your thread. So you don't want to go all the way around and then pull it, because then it could tie knots or have problems. Oops, I went too far. Okay, and when I go out through the last one, I'm going to go just through the seed bead, so through the two-hole bead, the super duo, and then through the seed bead. Now this is the part you're going to repeat from now on. You're going to pick up 3 seed beads. You're going to go back through that bead the same way your thread came, again making a circle. Okay, and I flip it over, and then you're going to move your thread up to the peak of what you have now of a diamond. So you have a little flower or a little diamond. Now once you're there, you're going to pick up a super duo. Again, doesn't really matter what hole, but you're going to pick it up and then go right back through it in the other hole. You don't have to do this close to your work because it'll slide. See how it slid right down there onto the work? Okay, now this is the start of your next flower. So there's 1, you're going to pick up 9 more. 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make another circle. Okay, so now you have 10 in the circle, and see how my tension got loose? That's okay. If I pull a little bit, it'll pop right back down in there. Okay, the thread you're using is called fire line. It used to be fishing line, and then the beaders found it, and we figured out how great it was, and they now make it just for beaders in lighter weights than fishing line. Okay, so that was your repeat part. Here's the next part. You're going to go just, oh, I forgot the purl. Add a purl and go straight across. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Now you're going to go backwards through the super duo and back up to the front. Okay, just make sure, like that one's trying to tuck in, just make sure that none of them get tucked into the thread. Make sure your tension is good. Now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to add seed beads, but I'll show you what to do when you get to the bottom, because of course there's already a seed bead there. So you're going to go around adding your seed bead. And sometimes it takes a little turning of the wrist or the hand, or sometimes it takes flipping it over. However it's easiest to hold for you. Now when you get to this point, if you look at this seed bead, the thread is coming through here from the previous row. Okay, so see how I'm coming out of here? I'm going to go straight across, and that is that seed bead. See how it popped in there? And continue around. And again, if your tension gets a little loose during this time, just kind of pull it a little tight. It happens. And you'll sometimes get this little bit of a bubbling effect where the purl is sitting up a little bit and it's kind of coned up. That's okay too. All right, get that other thread out of the way for you. There you go. You've just done 2 flowers. So we're going to do the repeat again. I'm going to do it one more time with you, and basically you do from this point on through the entire bracelet. The average is about 7 flowers. Now, some people are only going to need 5, some people are going to need 9. I think I gave you enough for 9 on each bracelet, but that's a big risk if you want to use it for an anklet or something. Because remember, you have to leave about an inch space to an inch and a half for the clasp. Okay, so we're at our top. This is our start of 3. Go back through that seed bead. I always turn it around, it makes it easier. Go back up, just follow your thread to the peak. You're going to add 1 super duo, come right back through it. Okay, and now add 9 more. You're going to go back in the way the thread is coming out already. That's going to make your interior flower, or your interior loop of your flower. Okay, and if they're not laying right, it's okay, as long as they get laying right at the end. You're going to pick up your purl. Make sure you're in the middle going across. Okay. You're going to go through the bottom and back up through the top. Now pull that purl tight. Get your tension all the way in there with that flower. Okay. Now we're going to add seed beads going all the way around. Okay, make sure you watch how this one's coming out. See, I need to turn it back over. It got turned so that it's straight across, okay? So now this one goes straight across here to that one. And now see how it connects with the little flower in between, the little diamond or floret, however you want to call it. Go back around. Okay, so if you need more help with this, just rewind the video. Basically, you're going to add your diamond, which is your 3 seed beads. Go up to the top of the diamond. Once you've tucked your diamond at the top, you're going to add 1 super duo that you're going to just go one direction, come right back, then add 9 more. Come around and pick up your pearl. Once you've made your circle, go straight across, add your pearl, and then add your seed beads around. So what you need to do is these in enough space so that when you put it on your wrist, again, you're going to leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So you want it to be a flower here and a flower about here if you're making it for yourself. If not, 6 to 7 is average. Okay, the next video will show you how to do the ends and tie it all off and put it together. This is why you got 2 kits, is because it's a very simple pattern and you can mix and match the colors however you want in those kits. I tried to make them so you could use a little bit of both and or also make a cute little earring when we're done. Okay, see you on the second video.